Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated conversation with the man who goes by many names, but here at Wales Certified, he goes by Brian Hruby from Ft.Zumwalt West.
How's it going? Happy to be back on.
Yeah, man. And so, on a full disclosure, had I not asked how to pronounce your name before, I would have been all over the place. The
Oh yeah,
stumbling, fumbling, announcer. But man, way to go, Hruby. Way to go.
yeah. I've heard it all. The silent H throws a lot of people off. I grew up and I would always have to say it's Ruby Hruby, and I would have to just spell it out for people. But I'll listen to just about anything.
There
So
you
call
go.
me whatever.
And under full disclosure, you played on the hilltop of Pattonville High School back in the day.
Back
Which,
in the day,
yeah.
yeah, played up on that grass field. The infamous long walk up to that grass field.
Oh man, people just talk about the mud and the rocks and everything, but they never talked about that walk. Please,
No, that hill's exhausting. You were more tired walking up the hill than you were playing in the game. I mean, there's a
you mean they didn't have like a gravel trail or anything? It's just walking on the grass to go up the hill.
they had a little concrete like pathway up there, but it didn't make the hill easier to walk up. I'll tell you that much. But it was all right. It was a good experience.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a couple schools around that still have a pathway from the parking lot to the field. And each time you're thrilled about being there, and then you remember, oh, Jesus, I got to go back after the game.
Yeah, you get a long walk all the way to a field, and then you realize after the match when you're all tired, it's like, wait, we got to walk all the way back out to where the buses are.
Okay, so here you go. Now, help out the whale, will you please? Is that how was it that you qualified for the 2026 St. Louis High School Champions League?
Oh yeah, we're excited. I mean, obviously last year we had a lot of success. We had a good class of seniors and leaders, and obviously we won districts and we ended up making it to the Final Four. So we got the invite to the Champions League, and we were in the Champions League last year as well, and we had a great time. It's always good to see the like top level teams in the area, and obviously when we were invited back, we were thrilled, and we were following along the draw when we were following it on Twitter and had people text immediately. The texts were going through and figured out which pool was which, and obviously that was done a while ago, so it's hard to kind of project what teams are going to look like the next year because obviously seniors leave, and there's always a natural kind of rebuild. But no, we're very excited. We've already got those dates bookmarked on the calendar, and the kids love it. I mean, it adds a little bit of bite to the high school game, which I think everyone is in favor of.
Wow. Well, under full disclosure, you're in Pool C with DeSmet, Howell, Francis Howell, and Ft.Zumwalt East.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
we saw the draw, and it is kind of funny. Obviously, we're happy to be in there with the Smet, with the team we don't typically get to play. They're not a GAC opponent or anything like that, obviously. So, and then it's a mix of kind of new faces and familiar faces because we get to see Francis Howell, who we play every year, and then Ft.Zumwalt East, who we typically play. It's a non-conference, but they're obviously an opponent we typically see every year, and yeah, it's a good mix of familiar faces and new ones. So it should be a good time. A lot of really good teams.
now my friends urged me to ask this question. Do you get a bonus if you beat Ft.Zumwalt East?
I wish. No, sadly that's not how this works. But
Oh,
I'll
okay.
uh, I'll I'll put that up the ladder and see if it gets shot down. But I don't think I don't think that'll be approved.
All right then, man. So there you go, man. The GAC, it used to be the hillbillies across the Missouri type of thing. And it is now refined, defined, and refined again. That's some great soccer over there, man.
I mean, our conference and like there's a lot of incredible talent, a lot of good coaches, a lot of good programs, a lot of experience. Um, and it's all the kids that kind of know each other on all the different teams because it is all in pretty close proximity. So a lot of the times when, if we're playing against a Howell or a Howell Central or, any of the Zumwalt schools, things like that, these kids have either like maybe they're club teammates or maybe they, grew up 15, 20 minutes down the road, because the lines are all so close to being drawn. I mean, Mexico Road itself has 3 of the Zumwalts on it. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where these guys all really know each other, and it's a good mix of really competitive battle and, just really high quality soccer in general. So it's a good conference for sure.
Fill us in, man, about that Battle of Mexico Road. Who are they?
So yeah, Mexico Road. I mean, there's 4 Zumwalt schools, so you have all the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. Fort Zumwalt North is kind of on it because it's a north of the highway. It's north of Highway 70, so they're kind of up in their own little area. But then Fort Zumwalt East, Fort Zumwalt South, and us out at Fort Zumwalt West are all essentially you could take Mexico Road and hit all 3 schools. And Fort Zumwalt East is obviously the furthest east, and Fort Zumwalt West is obviously the furthest west. But it's it's a little battle of Mexico Road, you could say, a little bit of added friendly rivalry because obviously the Fort Zumwalt schools are all like, there's always going to be a battle between wanting to beat the other Zumwalts, just like I'm sure all the Howells want to beat the other Howells and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always nice. It's a quick drive for an away game, which always makes things nice too. It's just a 5-10 minute drive down Mexico Road instead of having to drive 25-30 minutes all over the place.
Yeah. How about your city? Are you in St. Peter's?
Fort Zumwalt West, I believe, is O'Fallon.
Okay.
I don't live out by there, but yeah,
okay.
I think it's
right.
O'Fallon. But yeah, St. Peter's, O'Fallon, St. Charles. It's all St. Charles County. So
right. Yeah. Well, I hope you are able to ride in the parade down Mexico Road after the state championship.
Oh yeah, I wish they had a parade. No, it was good. But hopefully. I mean, just obviously last year we had a lot of success, but it's a new year, man. You know how it is. It's a new year, new season, a lot of new battles, and guys that are going to have to step up and new challenges. And yeah, obviously we play a tough schedule, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I like to play all the good teams in the area, and
absolutely,
you kind of want to give you a good litmus test of how you're doing.
Well, it's something new in the last year or two that you have 20 contact days in the summer, and you could split it up and do whatever you want with it. And have you found your niche with that, or are you trying new formulas?
Yeah, so we make sure we try to take advantage of all the days we're allowed. And I typically, it's open up to the whole program, obviously. So we'll have incoming freshmen, and we'll have obviously returning seniors that will show up to the sessions. We tend to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the summer. Just kind of works out that way with random weeks off for 4th of July and things like that, just to make sure that we're only using the correct amount of days possible. But typically we go in the morning. We went like we started around 8 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And there's a lot of fitness involved. I think that's a good starting point, because in order to be successful, especially with the style of play that I like to do, is pretty high press, high intensity, so fitness is key. And that can be a little bit of a shell shock, especially for the new faces coming in, or for those guys that show up early June and they're like, oh man, I was not expecting all this running. But we always do a little bit of fitness. There's always a technical piece, and then it's a lot of just open play. We'll play a lot of 8v8, 7v7, depending on the numbers, and it gives the guys a chance to obviously work on their game, obviously get more fit, get more touches on the ball, and just get to know each other. Because I like to build a program where all of the players, all of the teams are, in a perfect world, they'd all be friends, but like they're all at least close to where come August and September, when we're walking the halls at school and when matches are started, then they all know each other and they're all able to bond that way. And yeah, I mean, it's always good to build the technical foundation, but you want them to build their character and like build relationships as well.
Well, it's old hat, and you're going to get used to it. You are whale certified, Brian. Way to go, Hruby. Man, I mean, man, you hit it out of the park like that. That's the way to be about it. The high school game. You can't replicate it anywhere else. Or, it's it is unique to its own. And man.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the high school game obviously has a soft spot because I remember things from when I played in high school, and I see like alums that have graduated from Ft.Zumwalt West. They always are coming back, and they say, they still have specific memories of things that happen, and I'm like, those are awesome. But then they also are still friends with their old teammates, and it's just some of those relationships are things that you get out of high school sports that you don't really get anywhere else. And that's why I always encourage kids to get involved in high school, even if it's not soccer, even if it's another sport or another club. Like those are the relationships and the character traits that you kind of just build that'll take you far in life. So
absolutely. And under full disclosure, I'm a retired stagehand, and I still have friends from high school days, and it's in retirement, man. Meet each other, and it's like you close your eyes, you're right there, and obviously you went on for decades, just as important, but that high school's got a special place.
Oh, for sure. Even if you drift apart, like naturally with life or moving or careers or things like that, those like random high school memories are always going to kind of stick with you. And it could be a random game. It could be a bus ride after an away game. It could be, hardware that your team won. It could be anything. And those are kind of cool because, when you get older, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, you run into that group of people. All of a sudden it takes one person to be like, do you remember that? And everyone does.
Yeah. So here it goes, is that we have the big pink elephant in the room about the heat. Have you?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, have you figured it out on how to maximize the effort and the enthusiasm to be here?
Yeah, I mean, luckily, in the summer we went in the morning. We try to go before the heat becomes a problem, which some of the guys might not like in the moment, waking up that early, but I think they prefer it when to the 105-degree heat out on that turf or something. But we do our best to just incorporate a lot of, hydration breaks and kind of plan the session in a way that players are engaged. Like I would always want to make sure the guys knew what the plan was for the entire day. We'd kind of walk through it at the start of a session, and that kind of made it easier to transition from one thing to the next. And it kind of gave the guys an idea of what all to expect. And I think keeping things like, you don't want things to get stale. Like you want to do different, whether it's different technical warm-ups or whether it's different fitness on the day or making the fitness a little more enjoyable. We've done a couple of different fitness aspects that aren't just like running on a track, obviously. It's more quick burst fitness things, or we make a game out of it. And it kind of just keeps the guys engaged, and then they're not thinking about the heat as much. And, if it gets too hot, obviously we can't do anything. So, with all the rules in place, and rightfully so, you don't want guys getting hurt or injured or sick or some guys, they're high school boys at this point. If the heat's bothering them, sometimes they won't say anything. So we have to step in and be like, okay, hydration breaks here, there, and everywhere, and making sure we're following all the rules.
I got to ask you, man.
Yeah.
What do you teach at school?
I teach math. I'm
Nice.
typically mostly algebra 2.
All right
So I have
then.
a lot of junior level classes.
So is the arithmetic up to the algebra to the math and so forth? Is when you're fit, you have oxygen that runs through you. And have you found that if you got oxygen to the brain, you can be creative and so forth and see that play, see that moment to burst, ba ba boom. But if you're just, oh man, you got your head down and you're just totally out of shape, you can't play the ball. You can't play the game, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is a key aspect, because when you're playing, I don't want you necessarily having to think about fitness and how tired you are. I want you thinking about, if you're on the ball, I want you thinking about what you're going to do with it, or thinking a pass ahead. And if you're off the ball, I don't want you worried about like, oh, I'm out of breath, I don't want to make this recovery run. I want you to just immediately think, it's like, I need to make this recovery run. I need to go press this. I need to make this 30, 40-yard run that might lead to nothing, but it's one of those things you have to do. And I think the fitness is pretty key. I think if you're going to play, especially for guys that want to play at the collegiate level, I'm sure you know this, that college soccer players are some of the fittest guys on campus, and they just, there's a lot of fitness involved in that game and playing at a really, really high level. So, yeah, I think the more fit you are, the better decisions you'll make in a match, the better, like both on the ball and off the ball. So yeah, I would say there's a correlation there.
Okay, so do I have it correct? You're the Jaguars?
We are, yeah, Ft.Zumwalt Jaguars.
Man, there's something about the mascot that you take on.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would, I would say so.
all right. So how about those tryouts, man? Was it some hungry?
Yeah, we saw a lot of good things. We had a good turnout. We're lucky to have 3 teams. I know some schools in the area. I know, like, I'm the head girls coach as well, so I know there's teams in schools that in the fall for the boys or in the spring for the girls, that programs that aren't, they don't have the bodies for 3 teams, and we're lucky that we're able to fill 3 full teams, and saw a lot of good things. And the guys worked extremely hard, and they were prepared. And the guys that showed up, especially the guys that showed up during the summer, they kind of knew what to expect. When we did a fitness test, it was one that they had seen before, so there's that little bit of confidence just in comfortability with doing it. But yeah, the tryouts went really well. Luckily, I mean, we had a little bit of an issue with weather one day, but we just had a lightning delay, so we had to push back like a half hour or whenever the trainer gave us the green light. So no, the tryouts went extremely well, and guys showed out well. And I think now it's just turning the page to prepping for matches. And then once matches come, it kind of turns a different page to where, training sessions look a little different, because you're prepping for opponents, and you got to add in recovery days and film days and things like that.
So how about the any new unis?
I don't think we're not getting new uniforms this year, I don't think, sadly, but possibly I'll probably have to get my AD's ear or something like that and see when we're due for some new uniforms. But we don't really care. We like what we have, and we're going to go out there and compete no matter what. So
Yeah. How about the home pitch? Is it up to your specifications?
oh yeah, we love playing at home. Sadly, with our schedule, we don't have many home games this year. We're on the road an awful lot, but yeah, we love playing at home. The kids love it, obviously, because it's easier for peers and family members and everyone that lives around there to come to games, and just the added comfortability of playing on a field that they are used to training on. And it's always nice when you're playing in front of family and friends, And typically that happens a little more often at home games, just with the convenience factor.
How about the streaming? Have you found that to be successful?
Yeah, we love it. We use Huddle. It definitely helps with marking film, especially, but it helps us like analyze our own play or prepare for future opponents. I mean, I have guys that they all add Huddle. They're all on our Huddle account, and I know during the school day, even sometimes when they should be paying attention in class, some of them are pulling up Huddle and they're watching old game film or something like that, which I love. It shows that they're engaged and they're, wanting to improve, and they're, or they're looking back at a highlight or something like that. Anyway, it's always great to get them engaged in the preparation process, because that's really, really important at the high school level.
Have the parents taken over the concession stand up the game?
Yeah, we have parents that volunteer to run the concession stands. It's kind of like a whole school thing. We have, just because you're a soccer parent doesn't mean you have to work a soccer game. You could work a track event or a football game or anything like that. So we're lucky that out at Ft.Zumwalt West, we have a pretty good community of parents that are all eager to volunteer and get involved. So we like to have our concession stand open, because who doesn't like a hot dog and a soda while you're watching some Ft.Zumwalt West soccer?
Yeah. I tell you, it really takes the whole community, the school, the players, the parents, the friends, the girlfriends, the boyfriends. It takes the whole everybody together to work for one moment into the prize.
Yeah, absolutely. Like everyone kind of comes together for one common good purpose, and it's always nice when the support of the parents and friends and administration and teachers, and the more support there is, like kids will walk the hallway and random teachers that they don't even have in class will say, "Good luck in the game tonight," or "Good job in the game last night." And all of that stuff does add up, and it does add a little bit of bite to it for the players, and it kind of makes you feel proud to represent your school and represent your community. And definitely something that the high school game has that not a lot of other games do.
Well, I'm always thankful to that teacher back in the day that said, "Wells, if you win today, I'll give you a C. I can't give you an A."
Get the win today and we'll pass you. It's fine. Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You focus on that. No,
yeah.
It's always great. We definitely have a lot of teachers that are very supportive of their athletes in class, even if it's a sport that they aren't, themselves. It's not something they consume as to watch, but we have a lot of teachers that are aware of when football games are, when baseball games are, dance team, cheer team. It doesn't matter. I think kids have those interests, and they like when their teachers take an interest in their interests. So
yeah,
that's a good way to build relationships, which we're lucky to have out at Ft.Zumwalt West.
Well, have you went up in class? What class will you be in?
Oh, I'm up on the third floor of Ft.Zumwalt West. I'm about as far away from the soccer field as possible, which is really funny.
No, I apologize. No, the class for the soccer team.
Oh, we're class 4, so we play against all the big dogs. We play against all the best teams in the area.
Yeah.
So
and so the district, you got the plaque. I take it, huh?
We do. Yeah, it was that was quite a moment last year. I mean, it was something I know I'll remember for a long time, and I hope that the guys will take that memory and cherish it as well.
Oh yeah, man, their Jaguar coat is looking good. How about the GAC? Did they give you a plaque or a trophy? Or
we did. Yeah. Well, for like conference, yeah. So we did have a good amount of hardware from last year, which is always fun. And then we made it to the Final Four. We ended up finishing third, and we got a third place plaque as well. So the players were all very excited to be putting some items in the trophy case at West for the soccer team. And, it is always not, they get a kick out of it. The first thing any awards we get, they earn it. I mean, it's theirs that they get to claim and talk about for however long they want to talk about it.
Right, right. And that finish was pretty cool, man. I mean, you came, you deserved it. That's for sure.
I appreciate that. The players worked extremely hard, and
man.
A lot of things fell our way, and kids took their chances when they came, and we were in a good run of form, and the guys were prepared. They kind of just went out and took it, and even in a world where it wouldn't have gone our way, I would have been extremely proud of them. They worked extremely hard. Both teams had every right to win that game, and it went our way, and it might not go our way this year or next year or whenever, but we always have that to look back.
Right. If you play the Jaguar way, your chances of getting that star is a whole lot better. That's for sure.
I appreciate that. We try to do the right thing.
Yeah, you do. And so how about all that? Do you know you got pretty much figured it out of who's going to be in your district?
Districts are typically they're very similar. I don't actually know if our official district, it obviously hasn't been released yet, but
right.
I think districts are pretty, I kind of know a couple of teams that are going to be in it. Maybe there's one or two changes, but, we prepare for every opponent regardless of record, regardless of anything. I mean, if they're a conference opponent or non-conference, we do the same prep. We try to keep things as consistent as possible. But, obviously once you get to districts, it's win or go home. And, there's only one team that's going to hold that district title. So, I mean, there's a lot of teams that could be deserving of it. And then there's only one team that gets it.
So do you have a methodology somewhat throughout the season, or you change during districts? Do you prepare for your opponent, or do you say, hey, don't get me wrong, who we play, this is how we are going to play?
I think it's a mix of both. Not to give a boring answer, but it is a mix of both, because we'll have a style of play that we like and we've adopted, and a system that we're comfortable with our personnel. But I think it would be, in today's day and age, with the technology and with all of the resources out there, and I think I would think it would be dumb not to prepare for an opponent. Like, if we can know a team's strengths and weaknesses, or if we see them on film, or if it's an opponent we've seen before, then we may see a tendency here and there that we just know in the back of our minds. Now, whether that means we full sail change to match them is kind of a case-by-case basis. Typically, we'll do our own thing, but we'll know what their strengths and weaknesses are, or what they are trying to do, or how they're trying to play. And then maybe that means we alter a little bit, but it does kind of depend on the situation, I guess, not to give a boring answer.
No, not boring at all. It's very insightful. So you got 5 more minutes for the whale?
Yeah.
All right, then. So I urge all the Jaguars to understand the attention that is needed to this endeavor, and the intensity that is required for the intent of what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm looking forward to seeing the Jaguars, see what they got going, because
I appreciate that.
Because, like you said, each year is different. That's for sure. But you have that culture that you bring. You say, "Hey, man, they did it. Why not us?"
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where that freshman or sophomore can say, "Hey, man, I'm not following. I'm leading, man." And
exactly.
Yeah, and I'm looking for a leader. So when they said, "Come on," I'll be right behind them.
Yeah, we try to guys, and over the course of a season, especially, you'll have different guys taking different leadership roles, you know, game to game every once in a while. A freshman or a sophomore step up and all of a sudden they execute something really well or they do their job. And then you have seniors and juniors looking up to them. It's really, we try to implement that culture at West. We'll have a leadership council. Obviously we have captains that, lead by example. They're vocal leaders on the pitch. And then, I don't want it to be a situation to where they're the only ones that are allowed to talk. I want it to be the whole team. Everyone's working together for a common purpose. So freshmen and sophomores need to be just as confident as our juniors and seniors.
Yeah. And, it's kind of like, it's all just talk and everything. But you see a difference when there is a leadership way of playing. You see it compared to the others.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you have guys that have been there before or know what it takes at that level. Seasoned, I guess, veteran varsity players, as if you want to call it. They know the strength of the schedule. They know the caliber of the opponent. They know the physicality of the game and kind of just the outside noise, even whether it's, fans in the stand or officials or, a missed call here or there. They know to keep their heads and they know to kind of that they see the bigger picture on things. So right, yeah. I think that's when that leadership can really become obvious to those around. It's like, that guy gets it.
Yes, exactly. Well said. If I can, I'll bring out the shovel and we'll get right into this. Is that I see it the moment you walk onto the pitch and then how you warm up and how you look around. And, it's how you celebrate goals, but then just the bad pass or the good pass. How does everybody react to the situation? And, it's a game of mistakes.
Absolutely. So, no one's perfect. If anyone was perfect, they probably wouldn't be playing high school soccer. So that's what I always tell these guys. I'm like, there are levels to this game. Lamine Yamal is a teenager and he's winning the World Cup. So what are we doing? There are levels to it. So everyone's going to be making mistakes. Everyone's going to be learning by doing. It's just, how do we respond to those mistakes? Are we uplifting our teammates or are you guys bashing each other?
And it's also in the stands and how people react on and off the bench.
Of course.
It really means the whole story. And I'm starting to say I could close my eyes and understand body language.
Literally though, it is obvious. You can tell who gets it and who doesn't. I try to tell, all my athletes, especially those that want to play at the next level, talent is one thing and character is another. You want to hold yourself to the highest standards. You want to treat your opponent with respect. You want to treat officials and opposing coaches with respect, because people there that are watch a game, they know they're going to see maybe an errant pass or they're going to see a poor first touch, but how do you react to those situations? Because that's going to kind of hold a little bit more weight, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, right. And that's what we're basing it on, is that you have your opinion. Well, you got to hold that to account. You have accountability for your opinion and meet that standard and become the difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So here we go. The Jaguars are on the move. And when's your first match?
Oh, man. Our first match is the last Friday of August. I think it's the 28th. Right. I don't know. The dates are all kind of kind of jumbled together at this point. But it's that last Friday we play against. We have a home game. We play against Marquette.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, whoo! Keep cool. That's number one.
Yeah, you're telling me the weather. I'm ready for fall weather. I don't know about you. I'm ready for hoodie weather. I'm ready for a brisk Tuesday evening instead of a 95-degree Tuesday evening.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. It's a custom here at Whale Certified to say, hey, Brian, Hruby, whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to for as long as you want to say it for.
Well, first I want to thank you for having me on again. I know you. We had a conversation last year, and it was always a good time. I love anyone that's passionate about the high school game and has done a lot for the high school soccer community. So thank you.
Well,
And I want to thank just like the parents and the players and coaches all over the area. I mean, I love high school soccer. I consume the game. I watch as many games as I possibly can. There's a lot of good talent in the area, and high school sports in general, just they give you something that you're not going to get anywhere else. As a player, as a coach, as a parent, as a teacher, as anything, I think there's just that little bit of bite of wearing your school's crest and representing your community. That's such a big thing, and I'm excited that I get to be a part of it. And I'm looking forward to this season. It'll be new challenges for sure. We're obviously replacing a lot of pieces that graduated, but I'm excited. These guys they're working hard, and we'll get to go through the ups and downs of the season together and kind of go on this journey and see how far it's going to take us.
right on, man. And I'll be the Whale Certified to be right there on the journey to extraordinary, baby.
I appreciate that.
And I want to shout out to all the junior high players. Hey,
Yeah.
man, if you live within the district or you live close with this, that, whatever, hey, man, get out there. Get out there and see a high school game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, learn the territory. There's a beautiful song in The Music Man. You got to know the territory, you know?
Yeah, especially those go out and see those Champions League games for sure. There's a good mix of people. Neutrals even come watch those games. It's usually a good crowd of people that players don't really realize, because sometimes at the club level, high school level, you look in the stands, and then all of a sudden you go to those Champions League games. There's a few extra people there, and a little bit of extra nerves pop in, a little bit of extra intensity pops in. It makes a good environment for sure.
Yeah. And I won't be able to sleep at night if I don't say this. That the game is played with your feet, but it starts in the mind that goes through your heart onto your soul. You have to be an all-around cat daddy-o, so to speak.
Absolutely. You got to have all the tools. You got to have talent only takes you so far. You got to have the right mindset. You got to have the right passion. You got to have the right attitude and character for sure.
Yeah. And so I want you to know that I know that you and your fans, hey, man, if you want Whale Certified to interview a certain player or another coach or a team or whatever you got going, Whale Certified is an open door for you, bro. Okay?
Absolutely.
And that's for your girls and boys. And the last thing is to say, with this St. Louis High School Champions League, you're going to have a relationship with Select Soccer, which is one of the best balls and the only ball that Wales certified to play with. And then you have where you have our St. Louis sponsor of Fast Lane Convenience Store. They offer a scholarship, like $3,000 scholarship
Yeah, it's incredibly generous.
Yes.
School's expensive. Every scholarship that an athlete can get is definitely nice.
Yeah. And so that essay about the team and this and that through the Champions League. And then you have 5 free mentorships about college planning, about your recruiting process, where and why you go across the country. And that's free. And plus, if you mention Wales Certified or the Champions League, just being in it, you get $50 off with NAGO College Planning and $100 off of Coolidge.com. And I want you to know that I know you talk about spelling. This is a QOLLEGGE. And they have the website, the platform for there's 6 regions in United States High School Champions League, and they're all on USHSCL.com. So I would hope that you and yours would, and you, how about this, Hruby? You get to have like a team reporter, that you have somebody to take care of this to be able to get all the documentation ready to where they could be able to put, the scores, all the information that you want up to share with the high school Champions League community, which is called the movement. Yeah. So if you're involved in it, please. If you're not, you could reach out to the Whale, and the Whale. I tell you, it's not like I'm an educator, but I think I could help you out with understanding this.
Yeah, no, I love it. It takes an army for sure. There's a lot of people involved in the high school game, and
yeah,
all the people that are passionate about it is kind of what makes it all go round. I mean, it's awesome.
Well,
the players appreciate it. The coaches appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I'll be looking out for the Hruby Stars, baby. I mean, yeah. Come on, Jaguars. Let's go.
I appreciate that.
All right, then. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Wales Certified, and you too can be Wales Certified if you try. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.